and gentlemen, our 24th President-elect, Senator George Manneh Weah. I'd like to also welcome the family of the President-elect, his children, his wife, to this auspicious occasion.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members of the 54th Legislature, honorable ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to announce to you the opening of this special joint session for the sole purpose of administering the oath of office to the President-elect, Ambassador George Manneh Weah, and Vice President-elect Honorable Joy Howard Taylor of the Republic of Liberia. And now, therefore, this joint session is hereby called to order. I is hereby so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate is in an absolute majority constituted a quorum.
Dr. Buford Chambers, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 54th Legislature and presiding officer of this joint legislative section, Senator Albert T. Chie, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, I'm honored to announce that there is a quorum of the House of Representatives for the convening of the joint legislative section for the sole purpose of inaugurating the President-elect of the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador George Manneh Weah, and Vice President-elect, Madam Joy Howard Taylor of the Republic of Liberia.
In compliance with Article 53A of the Liberia Constitution, which calls for the convening of a special session of the 54th Legislature for the sole purpose of administering the oath of affirmation to the office of the President-elect and the Vice President-elect. I now, therefore, I, Honorable Muna E. Pelham Youngblood, representative of Electoral District No. 9, Montserrat County, and Chair on the Executive, do hereby move, if I can obtain a second, that this session be conveyed for the order of today's business.
colleagues, and distinguished members of the 54th Legislature, I, J. Plebo Brown, Senator of Maryland County, second this motion.
It is now been moved, it has been moved and seconded that this joint legislative session be open for the sole purpose of the inauguration of His Excellency Ambassador George Manuel Weah, President-elect, and Her Excellency Senator Joy Howard Taylor, Vice President-elect of the Republic of Liberia. And it is here so ordered. The 54th Legislature is hereby resolved into said session to have the 24th President-elect, His Excellency George Manuel Weah, and the Vice President-elect, Her Excellency Joy Howard Taylor, inaugurated into their respective offices, and it is hereby so ordered. You can proceed.
We'll now invite the Chief Justice, His Honor Francis Copper, for the administering of the oath of office to the President-elect and the Vice President-elect.
At this time, the Marshal of the Supreme Court of Liberia will proceed to escort President-elect to take the oath of office. The President-elect, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution, the laws of the Republic of Liberia, bear true faith
allegiance
and allegiance
to the Republic
and
will faithfully,
conscientiously
and impartially discharge the duties and functions of the office of President
of
the Republic of Liberia. So help me God.
So help me God.
Let us be quiet as the Chief Justice administers the oath of office to the Vice President. Let all the singing cease, please.
Madam Vice President-elect, you will repeat after me. I,
Joy Howard Taylor,
do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia, there through faith and allegiance to the Republic, and will faithfully, conscientiously, and impartially discharge the duties and functions of the office of Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I'd like to now call on the Chancellor of the Order of Distinctions, who will admit into the order as Grand Master the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Mr. George Mana Weah.
To present you the chain collar, the grand cordon, and the star of the most venerable order of the pioneers of the Republic of Liberia. And sire, may I ask you to allow me to assist you to put them on your present, the distinguished son of Liberia.
John Chancellor, I'm honored. You may put it on my person.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I will now call on the Cutlass Party to lower the Liberian flag. Ladies and gentlemen, Members of the flag party include Master Sergeant G. Shadow, Sergeant Major of 1st Infantry Battalion, 23rd Infantry Brigade, Armed Forces of Liberia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, I have the greatest honor to invite the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Mr. George Manneh Weah, to deliver his inaugural address.
Thank you. My Excellency, my Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Excellency, Head of States, Ambassador Joseph Nyimabwaka, Honorable Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, the Governing Council of the Tripartite Coalition Democratic Change, CDC, Madam Claire Marie Weah, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, His Honor the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, Mr. Speaker and members of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Pro Tempore members of the Liberian Senate, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, the Special Representatives of the UN Secretary General and other representatives of the United Nations, the Don and members of the Diplomatic Corps, our international partners and political stakeholders, our religious community and traditional council, market women, the student body, the Fourth Estate, special guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My fellow citizens, I am humble and thankful for the trust and hope you have put in me. I am filled with joy and proud to see so many friends across the world join us in celebrating what is truly an historic movement for our country. To all our citizens and international guests, thank you for coming. I have spent many years of my life in stadiums, but today is a feeling like no other. I am overwhelmed with the crowd and the energy here today, and I guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. The tens of thousands of Liberians here today, and many more in our community across the country who are listening, gathered together around radios in the Palava Hut. It is to you we are responsible to deliver the change you deserve. Indeed, we must deliver the change that our people need in order to transform our lives for the better. I promise to do everything in my power to be the agent of positive change, but I cannot do it alone. First, I call upon the revealed institution that hosts us today and from which the Vice President and I come, the legislative, our co-equal branch of government, to work with me to create and pass essential laws that are needed to complete the foundation of this nation. Together, we hold our citizens clarity on fundamental issues such as the land beneath their feet, freedom of speech, and how national resources and responsibility are going to be shifted from this capital to the county. The people expect better cooperation and more action from their government. We can do better together. Today, Liberians have reached an important milestone in the never-ending journey for freedom, justice, and democracy. A surge that has remained central to our history as a nation. Many of those who founded this country left the pain and shame of slavery to establish a society where all will be free and equal. But that vision of freedom, equality, and democracy has not yet been realized. That human longing for the true and lasting freedom has revealed itself in many ways since Liberia's founding. Sometimes the drive has been divisive and confrontational, and too often violent, bloody, and deadly, as it was in the 14 years of civil conflict, when the essence of equality and unity led us down the path of destroying our own country. Notwithstanding the harshness and immeasurable cost of the lesson, we have learned that equality and freedom are never just a final destination that the people or a nation reaches. These are the fundamental human rights that our people deserve, and that must be held up and measured against our action, our policy, our laws, and our people are those elected to serve the people. Almost 50 years ago, Liberians laid down their arms and renewed their hope for a better and more equal society. With the help of regional partners, the United Nations, we chose democracy as our path and elected the first post-war government which was led by Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Your Excellency, I thank you for laying the foundation upon which we can now stand in peace and to advance progress for our country. But this inaugural ceremony signals more than a peaceful transition from one democratic administration to another. It is also a transition from one generation of Liberian leadership to a new generation. It is indeed a confirmation that democracy exists in Liberia and that it is here to stay. We have arrived at this transition neither by violence nor by force of arms. Not a single life was lost in the process. Blood should never be the price tag for democracy. Rather, this transition was achieved by the free and democratic will of the Liberian people, guaranteed by the rule of law. This inaugural gathering also celebrates an important precedent that we Liberians can and will rely on established institutions and the rule of law to resolve our political agreements. This demonstrates the maturity of our institutions and that we as a people have learned valuable lessons from our brutal history. My fellow Liberians, let none the splendor of these ceremonies, none the celebration of electoral victory, make us forget how we arrived at this moment. We have arrived here on the blood, sweat, tears, and suffering of so many of our citizens, too many of whom died, longing for real freedom and equality. Today, we must remember the hundreds of thousands who died and many more whose lives were upended and families displaced because we lost the sight of the fact that we can only reach a higher state of equality and freedom by treating each other with love and respect, not tearing each other down. Truly taking this lesson to heart will bring the dawn of a new Liberia, so that their death would not be in vain. I solemnly pledge today, with the help of all of you, my fellow citizens, to build a Liberia of equality, freedom, dignity, and respect for one another. Let us all stand for the moment of silence to remember those who died on our soil, in our conflict and by our own hands. Let it never be so again. Thank you. Please be seated. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, on this day of inauguration, as we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Foke-Kron Jirare Bakugbe Tape Manewia, your new president, must first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you, Yah. Thank you, Yah, for entrusting me with the responsibility of leading the effort to build this new and better Liberia. It will be my task, my duty, and my honor to lead this nation from division to national unity and toward a future of hope and prosperity. I've here taken an oath before you, and therefore, and before the Almighty God, to uphold the Constitution and to pray to preside over this government and this country to the best of my abilities. Rest assured, I will not let you down. And so, my fellow citizens, I want to acknowledge you that the foundation of the new Liberia must be reinforced by the seed of integrity. We need men and women, boys and girls, whose integrity provides the foundation of the trust that is required for Liberian society to benefit our people. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, during my tenure as president of Liberia, the loudest battle cry that must ring from the mountain of Wologisi to the peak of Yekepa, from the ranges of Putu to the hills of Bomi, and from the coast of Harper to the shores of Morovia, must be the cry for national unity. We should strive to put aside our differences and join hands in the task of our nation building. We must learn how to celebrate our diversity without drawing lines of division in our new Liberia. We belong to Liberia first before we belong to our inherited tribes or chosen counties. We must not allow political loyalties prevent us from collaborating in the national interest. We must respect each other and act as neighbors, regardless of religious, social, and economic differences. In the words of our national anthem, a union strong, success assured, we cannot fail. United, we are certain to succeed as a nation. Divided, we are certain to fail. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that the most effective way to directly impact the poor and to narrow the gap between the rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pocket of government officials. I further believe that the overwhelming mandate that I received from the Liberian people is a mandate to end corruption in public service. I promise to deliver on this mandate. As officials of government, it is time to put the interests of our people above our own selfish interests. It is time to be honest with our people. Though corruption is a habit among our people, we must end it. We must pay civil servants a living wage so that corruption is not an excuse for taking what is not theirs. For those who do not refrain from enriching themselves at the expense of the people, the law will take its course. I say today that you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. To the private sector, I say to you, Liberia is open for business. We want to be known as a business-friendly government. We will do all that is within our power to provide an environment that will become conducive for the conduct of honest and transparent business. We will remove unnecessary regulatory constraints that tend to impede the establishment and operation of business in a profitable and predictable manner. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. We cannot remain spectators in our own economy. My government will prioritize the interests of Liberian-owned businesses and offer programs to help them become more competitive and offer services that international investors seek as partners. My fellow Liberians, this victory could not have been possible without the support of the youth of this country, the women of this country, especially those who made their living by selling in the markets. To all of you, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. This is your government. In the famous words of President Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We could not have arrived at this day without our voices being heard loudly, and all our views, no matter how critical, being freely expressed in an atmosphere void of intimidation and arrest. This was only made possible by the tolerance of my predecessor, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who protected the rights of freedom of speech as enshrined in our Constitution. Now, in my turn, I will go further to encourage and reinforce not only freedom of speech, but also freedom of political assembly. My fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, to change the structure of Liberian economy will require huge investment in agriculture, infrastructure, in human capital, and in the technology. We hope our international development partners will assist us in this transformation. Meanwhile, on behalf of all Liberians, I would like to thank the international community for the invaluable contributions they have made to our peace and economic development. I thank the economic community of the West African states, the ECOWAS, for standing with Liberia throughout these years. Many of our West African brothers and sisters shed their blood for Liberians during our conflict. This is a debt Liberians will never be able to repay. We count these fallen West African soldiers among the martyrs of our history. Without their supreme sacrifices, this day would not have been possible. ECOWAS will continue to play a very meaningful role during my presidency. I also thank the United Nations for the important role it has played in Liberia. We stood with the United Nations at its founding when it was just an idea driven by ideas. Then in our darkest day, the UN stood with us. The UN peacekeeping mission has ensured unbroken peace within our borders for more than a decade, and will soon demonstrate their confidence in us by transitioning its tasks from peacekeeping program of the UN organization, which will continue in key sectors such as education, health, and agriculture. Ending the peacekeeping mission successfully is something which all Liberians and our partners should take great pride. We thank all members countries of the United Nations for your support, and I promise to continue to build on the success that we have achieved together. To the government and people of the United States of America, we thank you for your strong support over the years. The Republic of Liberia has a strong historic relationship with the United States of America, which has manifested itself, and that relationship will even be stronger under my administration. To the European Union, I say thank you for your strong partnership with Liberia. European aid has provided critical support for Liberia's recovery from war, and this continued support will be important as we forge a new path of transformation. Without Europe, George Manuel Weah would not be standing here delivering this inaugural address as 24th President of the Republic of Liberia. It was my success in European football that enabled me to give back to my beloved country. Europe will always have a special place in my heart. And as President, I intend to strengthen my relationship with the European community for the benefit of all Liberians. The Samuel Kanyando Sports Complex to the People's Republic of China, I say to you, Sheshe. Our administration will continue to support the One China policy. China has emerged as one of Liberia's most dependable allies. It is my hope that Chinese-Liberian relationships will grow stronger during my tenure as president. The Samuel Kanyando Sports Complex, built by the Chinese, where this inaugural ceremony is being held, is where I gain my exposure to the football world. It does not only stand as a monument of Chinese friendship towards Liberians, but it also stands as a symbol of peace and reconciliation for Liberian people. During our civil conflict, this was the venue that brought opposing factions together during national marches, effectively reconciling them to a single national purpose, Liberia. And once again today, we stand at this same venue, united for one purpose, Liberia. This is the time that we put away our political differences to work together in forging a new Liberia where the affordability of all goods and services will no longer be luxury to the privileged, but rather a right for all Liberians. To the African Union, I also say thank you for standing with Liberia over the past several years. Liberia has always had an historic relationship with the AU. As a founding member of the African Union, I look forward to participating with my colleagues at the forthcoming summit, where we intend to utilize the resources and expertise of the African Union for the benefit of our country. To other bilateral and multilateral partners, I say a sincere thanks to you, the World Bank, Sweden, the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, Norway, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, to name too few, have also played important roles in Liberia's emergence from conflict and will remain critical for the transformation we seek. My fellow Liberians, my greatest contribution to this country as president may not last in the eloquence of my speeches, but will definitely lie in the quality of the decision that I will make over the next 6 years to advance the lives of poor Liberians. I intend to construct the greatest machinery of pro-poor governance in the history of this country. I will do more than my fair share to meet your expectation. I ask you to meet mine, for I cannot do it alone. Mine is an expectation that you, fellow citizens, will rise up and take control and responsibility for your destiny. That you will look away from the things that divide us and draw strength and energy from the things that unite us. Mine is an expectation that you will push yourselves to achieve the possibility that are within your reach. That you will aim to do more for yourselves and expect others to do less. And mine is a further expectation that you will discover a new sense of fairness and integrity, a new love for country and for each other. A love that will turn public servants and government officials into national champions for change. A love that will bring back home Liberians scattered far and wide across the globe. Many of them highly skilled, talented, and experienced, join us in building a new Liberia. The sooner we all merge our energies towards cementing these new norms and values, the sooner we will transform our beloved country for the better. In doing so, we must also learn the virtues of patience and learn to lower our expectations, for I do not promise you quick fixes or miracles. Instead, my pledge to you today is that my administration, with your help, will make steady and deliberate progress towards achieving the hopes and aspirations that you cherish in your heart for Mama Liberia. Let me close with these reassuring words from our national anthem. With God above, our rise to prove, we will over all prevail. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. May the Almighty God bless the works of our hands and save the state. I thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the 54th Legislature, having completed the sole purpose of the inauguration of the 24th President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George Manneh Weah, and Vice President, Her Excellency Madam Joy Howard Taylor, into their respective offices, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this joint legislative session. Honorable Geraldine Doe Sharif of Montserrado County.
Mr. Speaker and Presiding Officer, distinguished members of the 54th Legislature, having satisfied the aims and objectives and in compliance with Article 53A of the Constitution of Liberia, with the Joint Assembly of the Legislature for the sole purpose of inaugurating His Excellency President George Mannen Weah, Honorable Madam Joelle Howard Taylor, Vice President, I, Senator Geraldine N. Doe Sharif, Senior Senator of Montserrat County, Chairman and Executive, one of the longest serving senators of the Liberian Senate, with the power now vested in me, I moved, if I can obtain a second, that this session be adjourned.
We will entertain a second from Honorable Clarence C. Massaquoi of Lofa County Electoral District 3.
Honorable Dr. Buffer Chambers, Speaker of the 54th Legislature and Presiding Officer of this Joint Legislative Assembly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, President Pro Tempore of the Honorable Liberian Senate, my esteemed colleagues, I, Honorable Clarence Kotu Momolu Massaquoi, representing the people of Lofa District Number 3, do hereby second a motion calling for the adjournment of this session.
Honorable ladies and gentlemen of the 54th Legislature, having with the motion of adjournment in place, this joint convention of both houses of the 54th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia is hereby adjourned, and it is so hereby ordered.
The former President of the Republic of Liberia will retire and shall be accompanied by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia, George Mannen Weah. All others that have tickets or invitations to the luncheon and reception cocktail are asked to proceed right after the program for the cocktails and the reception. There will be a musical concert beginning at 1:30 right here in the stadium, and all of us are invited, all of us, to enjoy the music and celebrate the occasion today. Let us remember that the program is not yet over. We still have the House to close the session. We will have a selection by one of our famous artistic musical group, and then we'll have the closing prayer.